Let's get ready. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, and we're back here for another episode of what is going on in these crypto markets, man. Things are dumping today. What's going on, Bitcoin? I thought we were going to $140,000. Why are we dumping? Why are we dumping? Is it over? Is the altcoin season over? Is Bitcoin going to go crashing to $80,000? Is it all over for the summer? We're going to be covering all these questions plus more. So make sure you guys are smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, and dropping those questions into the chat, guys. Let's get the chatter going. So yes, I appreciate everybody jumping in here, and let's get right into it, guys. The market overall today, as you can see, a sea of red. Things are all pretty much in the negative today. Not a lot happening in the red. Why is this happening? Well, our good old friend, the Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin over here has dropped out of its regression trend, has dropped out of its previous day range. We came all the way down here to about $104,000, 147 before running it back up to the daily open and crashing back down again, getting rejected off this regression trend area low. And bing, bam, boom, we lose the previous day low. We're coming back to this target that we front ran here. Good news is that if you were in the crypto citadel earlier today, we took that long. And yeah, here we go. We took the long at the previous day low. The first time we got stopped out because of that big wick to the downside. But then we jumped back in and we got it back, baby. We got it back. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about for the crypto citadel. If you guys aren't already in the crypto citadel, definitely go do so and join. You can get 50% off your first month with the code Citadel. You don't only just get trade signals. It's not just for traders. You get daily analysis for what's happening in the market. Really easy, digestible information for you guys to read, so you guys can understand what is actually happening. And if you don't care about the daily stuff, you want to know about the long-term holder stuff because you are a long-term holder, well, we got tons of macro analysis here. This is just an H-bar deep dive, looking for keys, support zones, upward resistance, right? Market structures, and basically the summary of bullish, neutral, or bearish, depending what certain price action gets covered. And we have tons of these for a bunch of altcoins, and there's going to be a bunch more coming out. So make sure you guys are jumping in here and getting that 50% off your first month, because if you're not taking in data and analyzing the market and making your decisions based off information and data, then you're just blindly reacting to the market, chasing FOMO or panic selling, right? And that is not the way to grow a portfolio. That is not the way to actually be an investor. It just isn't. So overall here, Bitcoin today has fallen back below the previous day low. We got a few hours, we got 3 more hours before the day closes. At this point in time, I do believe we're going to come down to this $104,018 daily MPLC, right? We also have the Monday low and the previous day low below that, between 103,681 to about 103 flat to the downside with the previous day low. The previous week low is actually within this major green support zone. If you guys haven't been seeing what this green support zone is, I will quickly cover it here for you guys. Let me turn off some of my indicators here. And as you guys can see here right now, let me actually get rid of this regression trend. We don't need it anymore. This green support here for Bitcoin is pretty much our last line of defense before dropping down to 80,000. And this support comes between 103, basically 103,334 to about 101,868. We have the value area low for the month of May here. We have a daily MPLC down here, and we have a monthly average down at 103,334 as well. So all these things are major support here for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin loses this area, Our next support zone, as you can see, we just have a massive green candle to the upside. Not a lot of volume at all between 101 and basically $96,000 to $97,000. So that is the next critical area here is $97,665 to $96,729. That is our first target to the downside. If that area doesn't give us the bounce, doesn't hold that support, then our next potential target to the downside is between 89 to about 88,000, worst case scenario, maybe 84,000. If we wick through this gold pocket monthly average and overall this support zone here, which is made out of the value area low of Q1 range and the value area high of the April range, right? If we lose all this support, we could have wicked through it and come down for the April monthly NPOC down at 84,682 before bouncing back up and holding support here. Those are the critical levels for Bitcoin to the downside if the key word is if we lose this green support zone right here. If we lose this green support zone, those are the areas we're going for Bitcoin. So let's go and head on over to Ethereum here. Clay the Great in the house. Yo, what's going on, Clay the Great? Good to see you, brother. Let's go on over to Ethereum here. So Ethereum is the next one on the list here right now. Obviously on the macro stuff, we just got to jump down into the micro stuff. We got a bunch of targets all over the place. This thing's a mess, let me tell you. But overall, we turn back our indicators here and very simple stuff here for Ethereum as well. Ethereum today came all the way down to this daily open when Bitcoin dropped, right? When Bitcoin dropped down as well, down to almost that daily MPOC, came all the way down and reclaimed this daily average. I did take a long around here for Ethereum and we ran it all the way up to about, what is it? I got out around 2640, I believe it was, 2640. Came all the way up to almost this daily average here of 2678. We lost the previous day high, started falling back down. Bitcoin started pulling back as well. And then we have fallen back into the previous range. So overall, if you didn't take any trades, if you haven't been trading at all, today's just been a lot of sideways chop, right? A lot of ups, a lot of right back down, giving up everything we've gained. So a lot of sideways chop here, but definitely has presented itself some great trading opportunities here for the short term for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now, on the more macro scale for Ethereum, right? Let's jump out here to the daily. We can get rid of this daily average as well. We can get rid of this daily NPOC here as well, along with these other ones here that we've already hit, just to clear up this chart a little bit, since this chart does have a lot of stuff going on. Let's jump out here to the daily for Ethereum. So Ethereum right now, since June, we've pretty much hit all of our targets here for June so far, except for maybe the daily average down at 2656, right? That's probably the only thing that we haven't hit on the way back down, which we will probably hit if we keep dropping lower here. But that being said, the critical area for Ethereum on the macro side of things is this 2711, right? We had a major rally along with Bitcoin, right, on May 8th, as you guys can see here, major rally to the upside, breaking out of our April range, coming up from $1,800 all the way up back into the $2,400 area. Now, the entire month of May, since we got into this range up here, we have been held down by this monthly point of control at 2711. We got rejected on May 13th. We got rejected on May 14th. We got rejected on the 22nd and on the 23rd. Then once again, we got rejected on the 27th, got rejected on the 29th. Slightly pulled back here as the month of May was closing. June 1st started. We started to make another run back up here, but we have not been able to break above 2711. It is hypercritical for Ethereum to break above this area. Why do I say this? The reason why I say this is because we need to get above this area to make it to our next area of interest here. Our next area of interest is between the $2,900 area, which is the value area high for the Q1 range. Appreciate the subscribe. Let's go. So back to it. We need to break above this 2,900 area, which is the value area high for Q1. We have a few of these targets, weekly, daily averages, right? A yearly pivot as the biggest target here. But in reality, what we really need to see here is if we get the macro gold pocket for Ethereum here from this tip top, right, back in December 16th to this total bottom in April 10th. Look where this gold pocket lines up. look at where this gold pocket lines up. This gold pocket lines up right in this big bulk of targets, right around 3,100. So 2,900 to 3,100 is going to be critical as resistance and as an area of interest for flipping, right? We need to flip this area. I honestly do expect that on our first try, we're not going to get through. We're probably going to smash through 2,900. Maybe we get up to 31, and then we're probably going to have a pullback, revisit the Q1 area, upper band here, probably revisit this 2,700 since it's been such massive resistance. And then on the second try or third try, right? I don't know. We will break through this area and make a run for $4,000. $4,000 is another critical area of resistance. It rejected Ethereum all of 2024, right? This right here, this what you're seeing right here is the price action for March of 2024. When we had that explosive price action, we topped out around 40.66. Then back in May, we front ran. It came up to about 39.64 before pulling back. And then back in December and November, I believe, beginning of December 6th, we came up to that 40.20, and we came back to it on December 17th, getting rejected once again. So this $4,000 area is hypercritical as well. If we don't get above that, we're now running for all-time highs. If we don't get to that all-time high, Ethereum is going to be getting cooked for sure. But first, the only way we get to this $4,000 area is by breaking out of this $2,700 region area that is massive resistance, and then go through this bulk of targets and macro gold pocket to really be able to make some leadway to hit some big targets to the upside for Ethereum. I appreciate everybody jumping in here. CVO in the house. What's good, brother? Good to see you. The Robe Trader. Yeah, man, the Robe Trader is being banned on TikTok left and right, man. My live stream on TikTok got taken down yesterday. I can't go live for like 4 more days. So I am just being crushed by TikTok. I don't know what's going on over there on TikTok, but they are hating on me, man. They are hating on me. So here I am on every other platform right now, creating as much content as possible, because there's only one way out of here, and that is through the grind, man. You got to get through the grind. So up next, we've got Solana. Let's hit up Solana here. Solana has also not been doing too much here on the macro side of things, right? Let's just focus here on the macro side of things. We've hit a lot of these targets already, right? This daily NPOC. Actually, we jumped down to the 1 hour. I'm pretty sure we've hit all these targets. Yeah, we hit this monthly average. That's out of the way. We hit this daily average, and we've pretty much hit this daily NPOC as well. So let's jump out back to the daily here. Overall, Solana has fallen out of its main range, right? It's fallen out of its main range right now. And we're holding support on this $382, $152 for Solana. If Solana does not continue to hold support here and falls back down, our next area of support is going to be this value area high for the month of April. The month of April, we've ranged up here for almost 2 weeks or so before breaking out and going into the May range. Now, if 143 doesn't hold, we do have a gold pocket along with a monthly NPOC and a monthly untapped average down between 132 to 127 for Solana, right? We also have a weekly average down at 119. Now, I'm not expecting these major, massive retracements, because from what we're at right now down to this gold pocket is another 17% pullback, which honestly isn't a big deal for altcoins. Altcoins can pull back something like that very easily. Bitcoin doesn't need to crash down to 80,000 to do that. You know, just with a little wiggle room dropping down to 100,000, it could scare out the altcoins another 20% easily. But overall, those are the targets to the downside. If Bitcoin starts to pull back, altcoins start to freak out, those are the targets to the downside. Now, back to the upside here. If we can reclaim the value area low for Solana for the month of May, right, for the month of May, we do have targets between 169 to 178. But all those targets are fugazi. Those are not the critical targets. Those are just short-term stuff, man. The big targets is once we can break above the May range, once we can get above this value area high for May, around $182 to $183 for Solana, we have these two critical targets up between 194 to 197 before we can run for the value area high of Q1 for Solana. Once Solana can finally get out of its Q1 range, right, we do have a target of a gold pocket up at 225, and then we have two more targets at 235, 247 before running for the all-time high. Let's go. Now, am I a believer in the $1,000 Solana? No, I don't believe Solana is going to top out around $1,000. I'll be happy if Solana gets anywhere between $300 to $500 in the last all-time bull run leg up for Solana. It's just realistically, what is going to take Solana all the way to $1,000? Right? In 2024, Solana experienced the largest meme coin frenzy ever. It's never going to be larger than what it was in 2024, right? It just never is. People have already gotten, numb to the meme coin game. Not saying that meme coins won't have another season. I'm just saying it's just that frenzy like we saw in 2024, we'll never see again, right? Number two, we had a U.S. President Donald Trump himself, on January of 2025, launch his own meme coin and then launch his wife's meme coin, and they pretty much congested up the entire network, and the price exploded up to $295, and it couldn't move. It couldn't go any higher or drop because people couldn't buy or sell. It was just stuck, right? He literally broke the network from how much congestion happened during those transactions. And even then, Solana couldn't get above $300 to $500. How is Solana gonna get to 1,000? What events is going to take Solana that's going to overtake meme coin frenzy and a U.S. president launching a meme coin on its network? What events could beat that? I don't think there's anything out there that can beat that for Solana. So therefore, I think realistically, generously, $300 to $500 tops for Solana in the last leg, whenever that is, whether it's late 2025 or midway through 2026. I don't think it goes higher than $500. Just me. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys agree or don't. But those are just my personal thoughts. What's going on, Jesse? What's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody jumping in here. Kara says, do you think that we have double topped and are we headed into a bear market? Guys, the bear market scenarios, I think, have changed, right? I think a lot of people agree with this now that the 4-year cycle is kind of out of the window. The institutions have changed the game with Bitcoin and the ETFs. We have been very used to Bitcoin dropping 50, 60, 80% in these extended year-plus long bear markets. Not that the institutions are here and they're buying Ethereum, they're buying Bitcoin and Ethereum on the ETF, primarily Bitcoin. That major bear cycle isn't really a thing anymore because they're going to be in and out. Yeah, we're going to have bearish quarters like we had a bearish Q1 of 2025, but I don't think we're going to have a bearish year or a bearish year and a half where Bitcoin is doing nothing but just dropping and dropping and dropping, because institutional money is here now. Institutional money is going to be buying up those dips. We have people like MicroStrategy, and we have like over 60 corporations, not just I think within the United States, and there's a bunch of other corporations around the world right now that are all literally creating Bitcoin treasuries. They're raising money with either selling stock or whatever it is that they're doing, and they're using that money to create Bitcoin treasuries for their company. So the institutional demand is increasing at a rapid speed that we've never seen before, and we've never even thought that we were going to have 60 plus corporations building Bitcoin treasuries, let alone have ETFs by 2025 and have BlackRock have probably the most successful ETF ever in less than a year. And it's in Bitcoin, right? So I think that whole massive bear cycle thing is out of the window. We will have bearish quarters. Maybe we have 2 bearish quarters, right? Give or take, but we're going to have bearish trends and we're going to have bullish trends moving forward. I think those major drops of 80%, 60% for Bitcoin are kind of out the window. We dropped in Q1 about 36%, I believe it was. From the total top, right? From the total top of like 109 down to 76,000. Altcoins dropped 80 to 90%. Altcoins got crushed. Bitcoin didn't. Bitcoin only dropped 36%, and then it pumped right back up to new all-time highs literally 2 months later. So that's why I think Bitcoin is different than altcoins right now, because of the ETFs, because of the institutional demand. Do you offer daily trade setups in the Discord group? What is your cost per month? Yes, Karen. So we do have trade signals, right? We do have trade signals. You guys can see here. We do have some signals here. We took a Bitcoin long earlier today. We got stopped out the first time. We jumped back into it after the big wick to the downside, made some money, right? We do have trade signals overall. But if you're not a trader, you can also have daily trade setups, daily analysis on what's happening for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and any altcoin of your choice. If you're a long-term holder, you benefit probably the most. You have very deep dive analysis on what is happening on all your altcoins, key support zones, key resistance, right? What is happening, and then you get this every month, every quarter. And moving forward on all bunch of different altcoins, right? We have tons. We have like over 20 altcoins right now that we've covered in just the last 2 days. So we have many more things. Also, we have exclusive live streams, doing market updates and all this stuff. So there's a lot of things that we do in the Crypto Citadel. It costs $99 a month to be part of the Citadel. You can get 50% off your first month to try it out by using the code Citadel when you sign up. Use the code Citadel, you get 50% off your first month. That's basically $3.30 a day. And if you're telling me with all the analysis I'm dropping in there on daily updates, signals, and macro long-term analysis, it's not worth $3.30 to be in there. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. All I can say is that the only people that are succeeding in these markets are people that are analyzing data. People that are going based off what if this, what if that. I heard a rumor about this, hype, FOMO, panic. Those people don't make it. And it's not just in crypto. It's in the traditional market as well, right? The people that are analyzing the markets, the hedge funds, they're going based off data. They're not going based off feelings and hopes. Warren Buffett didn't create one of the best ever portfolios off feelings or panic or hype. It was off data. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. All right. Let's jump back over here into the charts. Let's see here. Let's hit up on one. Let's hit Sui up next. Sui. Let's hit up Sui here up next. Or actually, before we hit Sui, let's hit a fan favorite. Let's hit a fan favorite, XRP. XRP, my friends. Where are you at with the XRP? You're nowhere. That's right. You're nowhere. XRP is sitting in the dust, doing nothing but going sideways. So XRP overall, right, during the Q1 bear market of Bitcoin dropping down, XRP came down, lost this support for the first time that we have been holding since December. XRP has been holding between $2.10 to about $1.96. During the month of April, where we bottomed out with Bitcoin at 76,000, XRP actually dipped all the way down to 160 and then quickly reclaimed this support zone. Now, in the month of May, everything pumped on May 8th, right? And boom, nonetheless, so did XRP. On May 8th, we broke out of the April range. We ran all the way up to about 164, faced resistance, and we started falling back down ever since, making lower highs all throughout the month of May. And we've come back all the way down on May 31st, actually, down to $2.08, front running our target here of $2.05 by 3 cents, man, by 3 little pennies. We front ran our target. But ever since then, we've bounced again off this major green support, right? We've tried to re-enter the May range. Right now, today, we've had a bit of a red day. We're kind of sitting right on the value area high. Hopefully, we don't fall out. But if we do, we got to be looking for this green support area to continue being support. If this area is lost, then the targets to the downside are below 171 all the way down to about 112 are the targets. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go all the way down there, let me tell you. But to the upside, it's not all negative, right? We have a few little targets here between 229 to about 240. 240 is the critical area that XRP needs to get above. As you guys can see here, we were above it for a very short period of time and then rejected, boom, dropped. We need to get above 242 to make a run for this gold pocket. On the way to the gold pocket, we do have a daily untapped average of $2.57. This gold pocket at 277 is sitting right at the value area high of Q1, right? Of Q1 for XRP. This is going to be a little tricky to get through. Maybe we smash right through it. Who knows? XRP sometimes surprises you. But if we don't, I expect some resistance here, right? And our last final target for XRP to the upside is $3.10 before ultimately either exploding to new all-time highs or pulling back down again and see where we stop, right? That's the kind of way it goes. XRP is slow. Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of people are starting to give up on the XRP dream of taking over the SWIFT system. The people that drank the Kool-Aid and they're still in that narrative and they're still married to that, good luck. Good luck. Realistically, though, I do believe XRP at best case can get somewhere between $3 to $5 in the next leg in the big all-time highs for XRP. $10, I don't think so. $10 is basically roughly maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, give or take $1 trillion market cap for XRP. I understand that for whatever reason, XRP and the XRP army doesn't want to believe in market cap. Every single asset class in the entire world has market cap, and every investor cares about market cap. But not XRP. Somehow XRP is immune to market cap. But so far, that immunity hasn't played out yet because XRP has continued to get smacked every single time and has never gone anywhere near those wild predictions of $10, $100. You know, we went from $5.89 to then in the bear market, for some reason, we went up to 10,000. Even potentially there was a time that there was a rumor for a $50,000 buyback. I don't know where that came from. You guys know who you are, right? That never happened. That's never going to happen. Then we dropped it down to $100. Now we're dropping it down to $10. I think the XRP army is starting to adjust to the reality of the world. CVO's the GOAT, 100%, man. I agree. All right, let's continue on here. Let's move back on over to, let's actually hit Zebec. Since we're on the XRP army, and the XRP army has adopted a new son here, Zebec is their new coin that they're adopting. So Zebec right now, as you guys can see here, we pretty much fell out of the previous week range, right? We fell out of the previous week range. We were all the way up at 0.007. We fell out of that. We pretty much double topped and we came all the way back down. We came as low as 0.0043. We found some support here. We've reclaimed the previous day range and we've been slowly on a little bit of an uptrend here, right? Making a low, higher low, higher low, higher low so far, right? Very short time frame. This is a 1 hour time frame stuff. If we continue to move up, if we can break above 0.052, our targets to the upside here on the retracement to the upside, local gold pocket is 0.006. And we have a daily untapped average at 0.0062 as well. Now, oops, did not mean to move that gold pocket. Now, to the downside, if this uptrend breaks, if we continue pulling back, right, this area here of 0.0043 is critical. If this area breaks, we will be re-entering. We will be re-entering the May range. We will be re-entering the May range and falling back inside of it. That is going to be a little painful for the people that were buying all this hype of Zebec all the way up here, right? Because the targets to the downside, first set of targets are this weekly average at 0.0036 to this gold pocket as low as 0.0032. That from where we're at right now, just from where we're at right now, right, down to this first weekly average is a 30% drop. Down to the gold pocket is a 37% drop. And it doesn't stop there. We have other targets like the weekly NPOC and the monthly NPOC for May down at 0.0018, which is like a 50% retracement from where we're at right now. So buckle up if we do lose this support. Not saying that we will, not saying that we have to, just saying if we do, watch out down below. This is why Zebec has been an asset that I have taken an eye on, and I've been trading it. I've been taking longs and I've been taking shorts at support and resistance, and I am not buying this thing. I'm not buying it to hold long term. I'm not buying a spot because this thing pumped over 300% in less than 60 days. Over 300%. You think I'm going to buy into an asset like that? Why? Because it's less than a penny? It's half a penny? Oh, it's definitely going to go to $1 in 5 years. Might as well buy it after a 300% pump. I don't want to miss out. No, that's how they get you. That's all a bunch of fugazi. That's all a bunch of narrative. That's a bunch of propaganda. Don't fall for that. That's how you get trapped in these projects for the next 2-3 years, and you're just endlessly dollar cost averaging forever, and there's no real there's no real evidence to support that this thing is going to even be around or be relevant or do anything in the next 2 to 3 years, right? The rumor is it's going to take over the global payment system, the global payroll payment system, along like, just why, and it's in rumors of in talks with XRP. Guys, XRP. Come on now. Don't make me laugh, bro. XRP is spilling out the same narrative, the same Fugazi narrative that's going to do this magical world thing that no other crypto can do into this one now. So don't fall for it. Just don't fall for it. Take some trades on it, make some money, take some profit, and get out. But this long-term hold thing, if you are planning on getting into long-term, at least wait for a good pullback, man. Do not be buying up here. Not financial advice. You do whatever you want. Buy all the tops you want and sell all the bottoms you want. I'm here for it. That's totally up to you. I don't recommend it, but people got to learn one way or another. Let's jump on over here let's go take a look at SUI. Where's my SUI chart right here? All right. Jumping out to the daily for SUI. SUI right now had a great month of April here, right? Since the 22nd, been rallying. The May 8th rallied even higher. Came up to our gold pocket here at 417. Tried to break out of the quarter one range. Faced resistance. Fell back into the quarter one range. The whole news about a DEX called Cetus or Cactus, however you want to pronounce it, got exploited around this time. SUI itself didn't get hacked, so they didn't get exploited by any means. So don't panic. But nonetheless, it has pulled back since then. Now, we've fallen out of the May range. We are holding support here at around $3.03. We actually front ran that 3-cent area by like 3 cents. We came down to about 3.05, 3.06, and we bounced. We're currently getting rejected off this $3.82, $3.31 price point, and we're potentially back in this green support zone here. If we lose this green support zone and we fall back below $3.03, we pocket down at 262. It does put us back inside the April range, and the April range naked point of control is down at 220. Now that is a steep drop from where we're at right now. Just to this gold pocket is another 18.5%. Down to this monthly MPOC, that's a 30% drop. Not including from the drop from the top already, which I know a lot of people were FOMOing at the top here for SUI. And I said, hey guys, don't be buying SUI at these resistance levels all the way up here. This is not the time to be buying SUI. Time to be buying SUI was back in April, right? Nobody wanted to buy altcoins in April. Everybody wanted to buy altcoins in May. And that was not the time. Was not the time to be doing that, let me tell you. Not the time, but people will learn. People will learn. If you're paying attention, if you're in the crypto citadel, you'll definitely be learning not to make those mistakes. Now, we do have targets to the upside for SUI. If SUI gets back within its May range, we do have a target at 353 to 390. If we break out of the May range, that means that we're breaking out of the quarter one range as well. Our next target to the upside here is 481, which is the monthly MPOC for the month of January to the upside for SUI. So those are the targets for SUI right now. Making sure I didn't miss anybody in the chat. Make sure everybody in the chat is happy dandy. Let's see here. Let's what other altcoins can we hit up today? What other altcoins can we hit up today? Let's hit some ADA. ADA is always a good one. ADA's been doing a lot of nothing, let me tell you. A whole lot of nothing. So ADA also obviously pumped in the month of May, came up to the yearly pivot, came up to the weekly average around 86. Actually, we front run the 86 cent target. Pulled back, fell out of the May range, came back right now. We're kind of trying to find support here around 64 cents. We've been holding 65. We have a gold pocket down to 63. We're spending some time here within the April range, which is not great. We do have the gold pocket down to 63 and the monthly MPOC down at 62 for the month of April. So we're not too far away from that at 67 cents. Wouldn't be a terrible drop. Sweep here, find some support, start bouncing back up. Now, ADA. To the upside, if we get back into the May range, our targets are between 73 to 75 cents. Yippee-doo-dah. Not exciting whatsoever. But eventually, if we can get above this yearly pivot and hold above 81 cents, we do have key area here, the Q1 value area high, along with some resistance between 93 to about $1.01, right? Dollar area is always critical to get above. If we can get above $1 area, we do have another target up at $1.20 before potentially revisiting some historical targets up between 178 to 215, and obviously its all-time high of $3.10. I am hoping with everything I got that we do revisit those all-time highs for ADA. Now, will ADA revisit those? Maybe not. Maybe not. But we will take it level by level, month by month, quarter by quarter in the Crypto Citadel. Main target right now is $1.20. Above $1.20, looking between 150 to 178. And we'll see here. We'll see where we start, where Bitcoin's at during that time. We'll see where Cardano's holding up relatively to Ethereum and Bitcoin and all this other stuff, and we'll start making some other decisions on the way up there. Now, moving on to good old Ondo. Ondo, the top real-world asset project. And let me tell you, I know people are frustrated. Oh, Ondo, where is it? It's on Coinbase. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, yeah. So Ondo, massive resistance here at $1 to $1.20. We tried to break through it here on May 11th. We closed the daily candle. It looked like we were going for it. Got rejected on the next day. And then since then, we could not get back above $1.02. We slowly started making lower highs, and we've been dropping ever since. We came down to this local gold pocket here. We're trying to hold this area of support. If we don't hold 82 cents area of support, look out below to 73 cents, right? 74 to 73 cents here, which is the Q4 point of control. If that doesn't hold, September NPOC is down here at 59 cents. Watch out. That's going to be a painful drop, right? But got to keep that in the back of our minds is the possibility. Now, if Bitcoin continues to push up, if we can see another leg up in the market, if altcoins can really start rallying, if Ondo really can't get back above $1.02, our main targets here within above $1 is 122 to 132. Above 132, 151 to 165 is basically where I'm going to be taking a grand majority of my profits on my bags and then creating a moon bag and letting the rest ride from that point on. So we will see if we can get all the way up there for Ondo to the upside. Up next, we got our boy Aerodrome. Good old boy Aerodrome. So Aerodrome came all the way down to about 28 cents in the month of April. Dang it. In the month of April. And most people were already completely discounting Aerodrome, that it was never going to rally back up. And I was like, guys, come on. It's Aerodrome. It's DeFi. It's on Base Network. It's going to happen. And guess what? It had a major rally from these lows all the way to these highs of 165%. That's right. 165%. So whoever was telling you it wasn't going to rally, please unsubscribe. Stop following them because they clearly don't know what the heck they're talking about. Now, are the Aerodrome tokenomics the greatest? No, they're not. Is Aerodrome going to make a major new all-time high and go to $10? Probably not. But can it still have some big rallies? Absolutely. So right now, after coming all the way up to about 80 cents, 79 to 80 cents, getting rejected, falling into the May range and creating lower highs all the way down to about 51 to 52 cents. We do have a gold pocket down at 46, which lines up with the value area high for the month of April. That should be some good support if we come down there. If we don't, watch out for 38 cents, guys. Watch out for 38 cents. But now, if we continue to hold here, targets back within the May range are between 60 to 63 cents. Once we can break out of the May range, we're still within this major Q1 range, which was nothing but downside, right? So not a ton of volume. So we could get through some of these levels pretty easily. But we need to get above 79 to 83 cents, which is our next cluster of targets. Once we're above that, once again, here comes the resistance, 95 to $1.05, right? That's always going to be a hard area to get through, getting above and holding above $1. If we can, we have critical areas for Aerodrome up at a macro gold pocket at $1.68, just like Ondo, along with a monthly untapped average of 164. I will be selling a grand majority of my Aerodrome if we get to those levels. I will be selling a massive bag of Aerodrome at those levels. Now, does that mean that it's not going to go higher? No, it doesn't. It can. Its all-time high is 237. Maybe we keep pumping to the upside. But as a risk management play, I have to de-risk myself. I've been holding Aerodrome for over a year. I've been buying Aerodrome from 28 cents to 50 cents, all the way up, right? I never bought it over $1, but I bought it all the way up to $1. It pumped to $2, came all the way back down to 28 cents. If this thing gets back up to 168, I am selling the grand majority of my Aerodrome, right? So that being said, my long-term holds are not going to be long-term holds anymore. I'm going to be, dollar cost averaging out of my positions in this next big major leg up in the market, and just going to be consolidating, getting rid of the majority of my altcoins, consolidating into Bitcoin, maybe some Ethereum, but the grand majority into Bitcoin, as Bitcoin eventually will have a pullback. Let's see what other altcoins we got flying around here that we can hit up today. What are some other altcoins we can hit up today? We can hit up, let's go take a look at Virtuals. Virtuals was one that was rallying really hard, and now it's pulled back significantly here. So let's go take a look at Virtuals Protocol. Virtuals Protocol. Right here. Nope. Wrong chart. I believe it's on Mexi. Is my chart? Yeah, okay. All right. So let's get rid of this 360% pump from April all the way up through May. Let's get the month of May here. Let's get the range. Haven't updated this chart yet. Let's get the monthly point of control. All right, everything is pretty much up here, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, so Virtuals Protocol had a very aggressive run throughout the month of April, right? April was down here around 58 cents. We've skyrocketed from 58 cents to this high. We pumped over 360% in 30 days for Virtuals. We topped out around 254, trying to break out of the Q1 range, and we front ran our yearly pivot, falling back within the May range, and we're still within the May range. The May range has been holding up very well for Virtuals, which is very good, building some strong consolidation up here, some strong support. Now, if we continue pulling back, some areas to look out for are this 382, which is $1.50, a monthly average of down here at 119, and then our gold pocket at $1.03, which lines up with the April value area high, which from where we're at right now down to our first target is another 13.8%. Our second target would be 31.8%, and to the gold pocket would be about 41% potential pullback, which is pretty aggressive from obviously already pulling back from 258. Now, if Virtuals can break out of this value area high for the Q1 range and break above that, our targets to the upside are still 269, the yearly pivot. Getting above that, it's 299, and then above that we have a macro gold pocket from this high to our April lows of $3.55. Let's go. That is our major targets to Virtuals to the upside. Obviously, Virtuals has had a very strong uptrend with AI agents in December and November time. Didn't really think the AI agents was going to come back, but man, it came back with a vengeance in the month of April and May. So I will not be doubting Virtuals here in the future if it continues to run to the upside again. Currently, obviously, I'm not buying Virtuals right now. I would be waiting for a bigger retrace to the downside, but I will take some trades on it. I will definitely take some trades on Virtuals Protocol as they present themselves. I appreciate everybody hanging out here, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. If you're not part of the Crypto Citadel, definitely do so and join. You can get 50% off your first month with the promo code Citadel, and you're getting daily trade updates, right? Getting market updates every single day with analysis. You're getting signals posted there almost every day. So and then you get the long-term macro analysis as well for any and all altcoin of your choice, right? It looks like you're reading a lot, but you're reading everything broken down into sections: key support, key resistance, market structure, bullish, neutral, or bearish summaries. Keep it very simple. That's all for the macro long-term thing. Signals, getting Bitcoin signals here, mostly Bitcoin. We trade some Ethereum as well. Maybe of some altcoins here and there, but the grand majority of signals are all Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then obviously the daily market updates as well. What's happening in the market, what's happening with Bitcoin. You know where Bitcoin's going. You know where the altcoins are going, and the exclusive live streams. And if you're really into trading, you also actually do get, along with access to the Citadel, you do get access to my personal indicators that I created here. This indicator right here, the PW and PDSR, support and resistance area. You get this that helps you chart using the style that I use, using my strategy, and you get to use this as well. So make sure you guys are joining if you guys haven't already. Would definitely greatly love to have all of you guys in the Crypto Citadel. Appreciate everyone else smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Guys, I am going to be heading out of here. Going to go be having dinner here soon with the fam. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day. Until next time, see ya.